In this video, we'll be taking a walkthrough tour of every main cabin category on board Cunard's Queen Anne. You'll see an inside cabin, Oceanview, Britannia Balcony, Britannia Club Balcony, Princess Grille Suite and a variety of Queen's Grille Suites. We'll start with the Britannia inside. As you enter the cabin, one of the first things that strikes you is that it's quite a dark cabin compared to many other cruise lines, but the colour scheme and decor do give it a traditional feel that makes you feel like you're on a classic liner rather than a contemporary cruise ship. You couldn't really call it spacious, although where I'm stood here filming is the most open area of the cabin where you could easily open a suitcase on the floor. And these cabins are very modern when it comes to power outlets. You get UK and European sockets here, and a US socket here, as well as USB-A and C sockets, which is great to see. And you'll find a hairdryer in the drawer. As you'd expect, you've got tea and coffee making facilities too, but the water is chargeable. And the stop minibar is also chargeable. Each bedside panel also features another power outlet and USB-A and C sockets. The bedside tables provide a reasonable amount of storage space too. The wardrobes offer a lot more shelf and hanging space than I initially thought they might. And here's another with lots more shelf space. Now this last part is much slimmer but still has a lot of useful hanging space. The bathroom is nice and modern with a fairly typical amount of space. It includes liquid soap and hand and body lotion. And when it comes to the shower, that actually seemed a bit larger than a standard cabin usually offers and comes with a shampoo, conditioner and shower gel. Next we'll take a look at a midship Oceanview cabin on deck 1. Now the entrance is much like the inside with the bathroom and wardrobes, although in this case that last smaller wardrobe door is actually placed to the side of the bed. The key difference here is having that bit more space that allows for a small sofa and of course the window. But the storage and bathroom are identical to the inside cabin, so I'm not showing them again here. Now for comparison, here's another Oceanview up on deck 10 forward. It actually felt a bit more spacious as it's slightly wider than the previous one we just saw. Now the balcony cabin is the exact same layout as the midship Oceanview with the same storage too. The balcony really is the only difference here. It's also worth mentioning that all cabins we've seen so far offer a free room service breakfast, but all other room service is paid for. And as you can see, the bathroom remains identical to that very first inside cabin we looked at. Onto the Britannia Club balcony, and you'll notice it looks exactly the same as a regular Britannia balcony. The differences here are in the details. Upgrading to this cabin gets you a specialty tea and coffee machine, a pillow menu, free spring water throughout the voyage and complimentary room service at any time of the day. But there's one key difference, and that's the fact that instead of eating in the main Britannia restaurant like everyone in the previous cabins we've looked at, those staying in a Britannia Club cabin have their own assigned table in the smaller Britannia Club restaurant where you can eat breakfast, lunch and dinner. So now we come to the grille suites, starting with a Princess Grille Suite. Now apart from the change in colour scheme, you immediately notice the extra depth to the cabin as you walk in. You get wider bedside tables and more storage spaces around the cabin. You also now get a full-size sofa and a second TV opposite it, with storage that goes underneath that. The balcony furniture is upgraded too with proper headrests. The storage under the TV isn't very deep, but there's enough to make it useful, and you get blankets to use when you're sat out on the balcony. Now, the bathroom now has a different layout, but it doesn't really seem any more spacious, so to my mind it's not an appreciable improvement over the previous cabins we've seen. And for those wondering, here's a P1 cabin on deck 5. As you can see, it's all the same. The only difference between P1 and P2 is the deck numbers. And now for the Queen's Grille suites, starting with the entry-level Q6 category. We've again got a change in colour scheme and decor that to me feels like a good mix of modern with traditional touches. This suite is right at the front corner of the ship, so it has a window looking out of the front but a balcony on the side. And you really notice the extra square footage in this suite. Storage is greatly improved with large wardrobes on both sides of the entrance to the bathroom. The bathroom itself now has a separate shower and bathtub. Stepping up to a Q5 suite on the aft of the ship gives us a different cabin layout but the same colour scheme and decor. The divider between the lounge and bedroom make the suite feel smaller than the Q6 we just saw, but it does help give the suite two distinct spaces. The balcony gives you a great wake view when you're at sea. The bathroom is much the same as the Q6, although it now puts the toilet behind a separate door that can be accessed from two sides, so it's ideal if you've got guests. We're now taking a few steps up to a Q2 midship suite. Now the colour scheme and decor change once again. You immediately notice this suite is packing a lot more into each space, and you now get a separate dining room. The bedroom is now a completely separate room with a large wardrobe on either side. I didn't film them, but there's more wardrobe space and a dressing table just before the entrance to the bathroom, and the bathroom itself is much the same as the previous suites we saw, although I should mention there's a separate small bathroom at the entrance to the suite also. So there you have it for the cabins. If you've got any questions, just drop them in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, then please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos coming soon. Thanks for watching.